Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are from different parts of the world. I want to especially welcome you to episode 54 of Finding Up with Specialists. And our topic for today is it's time to connect World Down Syndrome Day. I'm sure we all know that it's World Down Syndrome Day, today being the 21st of March 2021. So I'm really excited this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you're joining from. And I remain Lola Aneke. Super excited to have you, Vicky. Darling with Vicky, thank you for joining us. I want to thank everyone that has joined in on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook platform, on Cadet Academy website. I want to thank everyone. Thank you for always coming to class. Vicky, you are the one that mentioned and named this class. So thank you so much, everyone. So like I said, today is 21st of March, and it's globally celebrated as World Down Syndrome Day. And what better day to celebrate World Down Syndrome Day than today being Sunday on Finding Up with Special Needs. I have a little presentation to show you, a short video to show you, and then I'll bring in my guests to come tell us all about what we're doing today. Thank you so much. Stay put. I'll talk to you soon. Hello, welcome back. Hi, Vicky, can you hear me? Let me just give me a yes for everyone. Our audience, please let me know if you can hear me. So while I wait to get a response from you, I wanted to make sure that you share this video so we can have a watch party on various platforms so that everyone can learn about what we're discussing today, which is it's time to connect. As a topic for Finding Up with Special Needs episode 54. Our topic for today is it's time to connect. World Down Syndrome Day. So I want you to share this video so we can have a watch party. I know that for the past 54 weeks, we've always learned something new. I mean, we've always, like we say, we always unlearn, relearn, and learn. So if you're sure and you are definitely, absolutely sure that you always learn something week in, week out, I'd like you to please share this video on various platforms so that others can benefit from what we shall be discussing today. And also would want you to like and comment. I would want to hear your questions so that our guests can help clarify whatever things you need to learn today. And then don't forget to turn on your notification button so that whenever we come up with whatever beneficial program, you'll be able to gain from it also. So right now, I'm really excited to bring in my guest for today. So I have Mr. Joseph. Hello, Mr. Joseph. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hi,
Hello.
Lola.
Hello. Good to
Hi,
see you.
Lola.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
good to see
coming.
you.
Thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you and your time. Thank you. We also
Thank
have
you so much, Lola.
the one and only Auntie Anu in the whole of Nigeria and I bet Africa. You know, we have her joining us also. I cannot find her there. Oh, she's not at the back and yet. I'm sure she'll join us. And also, Awele will join us very soon. So while we wait for others to join us, Mr. Joseph, could you please introduce yourself to us? Tell us who you are, what you do in the space of special needs and disability, and just tell us everything about yourself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lola. My name is Joseph Utibe Ete. Actually an IT personnel and a admin officer in Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria. And I've been working with persons with special needs for 5 years. It all started when I was doing my IT. From IT, being an IT personnel to being an advocate of person with Down syndrome and intellectual disabilities. And it's been fun. Like I've been aware, I now know what persons or how persons with intellectual disability. And I actually assist in the admin. I also teach them computer skills like Microsoft and simple basic skills in the computer. And but now that's all about me. Like I don't want to go too far. And I also work with I'm the project coordinator of Inclusion International. Inclusion International is a global body that deals with persons with intellectual disability um, worldwide. So I'm actually the project coordinator of there in Nigeria. So this is me, the Joseph, the admin officer in the last show today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being in this space. We truly appreciate you, and we're glad you're able to join us this evening. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have my two other guests at the other end. Auntie Anna, welcome. And oh, wait, I'll call you Maria. I know this is your name. Really, so glad to have you on this show. I'm really excited that you're able to join
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you so much. So I would like Auntie Anu to please introduce herself to us and what she does, and then Awele would go after you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good evening, all. This
Good
is me,
evening.
Anu Shembanjo. Currently, I'm the administrator of Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria. And at the foundation here, I coordinate the affairs of the activities at the foundation. We have so many things we do here at Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria, part of which Joseph had actually mentioned. We have early educational intervention program. We have early medical intervention program, of which Joseph is coordinating, which we named Save a Life project that he coordinates. We have therapeutical services that we render. Then we have vocational skills, and we're coming out, big with these vocational outfits. We are going commercial. So I coordinate all these affairs of the students, the staff well-being and everything at the foundation. So currently, that is what I do. We also have some projects ongoing. We partnered with Down Syndrome International. We also partner with Inclusion International, as well as Site Savers under Inclusion Works. So all these ones are the projects we are handling at the foundation, which I coordinate. So that is basically what I do at the foundation. And because I am a trained teacher, special teacher to say, so I still can't take my eyes off working with children because of my life, my 21 years experience, I've always been working with children and persons with special needs. So being an administrator does not limit me from still working directly with the children because the passion is there. So I still go to the classroom, I still work with the children and young adults. This to not to lose skills, one, and then to impact whatever I have in me. It is in me, it is the passion I have to work with the children and young adults with special needs. So thank you. That's this I can say about myself.
Such I love that introduction, and I kept on nodding when you said despite all that I do, I still go into the classroom to teach. And all that came to my mind that once you're a teacher, always a teacher. You can't just, it's in the blood, it's with you. So thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. Awele, could you please introduce yourself to us?
My name is Awele Modi.
You're welcome, Awele. I think you have been modest. Tell us what you do. I know you've done quite a
I'm a
lot.
tech advocate.
Yes, she said she's a self-advocate.
Advocate. Thank you,
Yes. What
Awele.
is the
I'm proud of
self-advocate?
you.
You speak on the same and others.
Yes, you speak for yourself and for others. And said, which
Fantastic.
work? What do you do at the foundation?
Yeah, I work for Down syndrome in Nigeria.
Yes, as
Secondly,
yes, she said she works as a receptionist at the foundation. Yes.
Wow. Well done, Awele. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. I know today is World Down Syndrome Day, so I'm really excited you were able to join us because there's this cliche, there's a word that's a saying in the disability space, there's nothing about us without us. So we're glad you're able to join us today. Now let's go back to, I think Auntie Anna should help us with this. A lot of people do not understand the difference between Down syndrome or autism or cerebral palsy or learning disability. Thankfully, today's World Down Syndrome Day, and once you go online, I've been online today, and I see that different organizations they explain what Down syndrome is in layman's language, or those that do not understand what Down syndrome is and the features that will help you identify an individual with Down syndrome. Could you help us break it down to those individuals?
Thank you very much, Lola. Well, you're very right by saying that quite a number of people take Down syndrome for autism spectrum disorders, for cerebral palsy, and even for other developmental challenges. Just say Down syndrome, they don't know which is which. First, I would like to talk about what Down syndrome is not. That is the myths that surround Down syndrome. A lot of people believe that children and young adults that have Down syndrome are cursed. That is, they are from the gods. Some people believe that the condition is for the rich only. Some people believe that it is as a result of waywardness on the part of the mother, or that probably the mother walked in the sun while she was pregnant or so. So there are so many myths, there are so many beliefs, I mean sociocultural beliefs about Down syndrome that are not true. Now I would like to talk about facts about Down syndrome, and this is what will not take me into naming scientific names, giving it scientific names or other names like that. Simply, Down syndrome is a condition, it's a genetic condition. That is, nobody has control over it. It is genetic, it just occurred. That appears or that happens, I'm trying to be as simple as possible. That happens when a child comes up with just one extra chromosome. I don't know how to define what chromosome is that a layman will understand, but it is one of the genetic formation in human beings. Generally, we are supposed to have 46, but for somebody that has Down syndrome, they have 47. And then how do you know that somebody has Down syndrome or somebody is with Down syndrome condition? How do you know? There are some physical features, unlike some other developmental disorders like autism spectrum disorders, that does not show on face, except if the person in question has comorbidities. But if it is not there, autism spectrum disorders does not show on face. But for Down syndrome, there are physical features that will make you know that somebody has Down syndrome. One of these is a relatively large tongue. When they talk, you can see that their tongue is a little bit bigger than the regular. And this makes it sometimes difficult for them to articulate certain words, like trills and laterals that require rolling of tongue and all that. It might be a bit difficult for them. But with intensive speech and language therapy, they tend to overcome some of this. Another thing is that they're usually plump. When you see them, their looks, they are plumpy, you can see them like that. It's very rare before you can see some of them that are slim, although they are rare, but quite a number of them are plumping. Another thing is that sometimes they can have strabismus, that is known as eye deviation. It is very common in them. Also, they tend to have swollen, a little bit swollen eyelids. These are some of the things that you will see in them, and they have tendency of being. I said they are usually plumpy. Yes. So another thing that you can see is them is that they have. This one is a very, very positive one, and a more positive note. They have a very well developed social skills. They are loving. They are very, very loving. They are fantastic. They are so loving. So when you see them, they want to greet you, they hug you, they are, they are very, very, they have well-developed social skills, and they have good awareness too. They are aware of themselves and their immediate environment. So when you see someone with Down syndrome, they usually have similar look, all of them across the globe. When you see them, even though they are different, but that similar look is there when you see them. So when you see persons with Down syndrome with few signs I've told you, you will know that this person has Down syndrome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Auntie. And I'm sure we're taking down notes because sometimes when you see people, they're like, "Oh, I saw a person with autism." I'm like, "What are the features?" Oh, and they begin to mention like, "No, that's not autism." The easiest way is the look on the face, and Auntie Anna has done justice to that by explaining to us how to identify an individual with Down syndrome. And I like what she said. She said a lot of them are socially inclined. They're very friendly, and I can testify to that. I mean, years back, I used to have a neighbor. I didn't even know what Down syndrome. Those are almost 30-something years ago. What Down syndrome was, but I saw the feature then. I was I think I was just about 10 years old then, and this wasn't common. Nobody would talk about it. But the look, I still remember that look, but she was quite friendly. She goes hello to everyone. She just want to be your friend. And that's, for me, it's a plus to individuals, because there are a lot of people that are unfriendly. So thank you for making it clear to us. So let me ask Awele.
Awele, yes.
How has it been? What do you think people's opinion? What do you think people's, would I say opinion, people's reaction and their action towards you are? Had it been something that is welcoming, or had it been something that it's judgmental? How do people view you as an individual?
When people see,
do they think you can't do anything? Do they think you always need support? Do they think, what do you think? What are the reaction of people being towards you? Because I wanted to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am. Support.
She said the support.
Oh, wow, interesting. Well done. Thank you. So for everyone, Awela told us right now that she get a lot of support. And I'm sure Awela has several skills, and she's not totally dependent on people, so to say. For her to be a receptionist, I read her bio and I was quite impressed. She had been trained in different parts of the world. I think in the UK, she had learned photography. Did you see her display picture? So you don't have any reason not to be supportive of her. She has shown to you that she can. So I'm just really excited to hear that from you, because it's better heard from the horse's mouth. So for you to be supported, I'm really excited to hear that. Thank you so much. Mr. Joseph, let me come to you now. So I know that you've been involved in several projects with individuals with Down syndrome. Could you please share one of those projects with us? What the objective of the project was, and how the outcome was? I know I met you a few months back, and I was really impressed as to, with the individuals with disability I met with you, and the level of independence. But I'm sure that's one of the projects you engaged with them. Could you share one? What was the objective? Did you meet the objective, and what was, the outcome?
Okay, let me start with the first project, which handled. This project was a project of starting up a self-advocacy group. It's a group with self-advocates.
Mm-hmm.
The DSI Down Syndrome International came with Nigeria in 2018. They trained me and they trained some few staff, and they said they wanted me to be the coordinator of the self advocacy group. And I was like, wow, I'm an IT person. I don't really know how to speak. I don't know how to talk. How will I train? So from the training, they gave me an objective that this project, there are activities we have to embark on. That by building this self-advocacy group, we have to make sure we advocate for the rights of persons with Down syndrome in Lagos State and also in Nigeria. So we ran this project for a year from 20 for the whole of 2019.
Hold on, Mr.
And in
Joseph. Mr. Joseph, can you
2020,
hold on?
we
Could you hold
decided,
on, please? Hold your thoughts. Hold your thought. You
yeah,
know, on Fire Up with Special Needs, we try to be as open as possible. So when you say self-advocate, what were the specific
okay,
things you wanted to do? Because it's always good for people. A lot of people do not even know that individuals with disability or individuals with that have rights
okay,
and what they can advocate for. So what were the specifics, please?
okay. So to train them to be self-advocates means you have to make sure they know their rights, they know the type of disability they have, they also know that their opinion can be heard. They have right to their opinion. They have right to choice, to the choice of life they want to live. They have right to be independent. They have right to go to vote. They have right to go to education. So basically, it was training them to know their rights, to know that they have choice, they have opinion, to know that they can live an independent life. They have right to marriage, and those are the basic things we actually train them to do. And they have right to contest if they actually want to go into politics. They have that right to do that. So basically, that was what we trained them to be self advocates for the whole year of 2019, in which we are still also training them till date. So on 2020, one of our achievements was we they voted. That was the first time a person with Down syndrome, like the self advocates, had their voters card and they voted in February 2019 due to the advocacy. We enlightened them, so they were eager to have their voters card. And wow, if they have that right to vote, that means they can vote in the next election. So they actually did that. They voted for their party without nobody telling them which party they actually needed to vote for. So also in 2020, we went to the local government chairman of Amowo Odofun. We wanted to ratify the African Disability Law in Lagos State and Nigeria. So we went to him with the self advocate and he ratified it in his local government chairman. And that was something that the self advocate led that visit. They went there and they spoke with the chairman and he signed and stamped and also promised to share it in the local government chairman forum so that they can share to the governor. So we are also going to advocate, like also we advocated with the local government of Ifaka Ijayi on employment. The self-advocates led that, and the local government chairman promised to hand over a job to Awele Modi because since he saw that she's a receptionist and she loves being a PA, personal assistant to person, because the local government chairman asked her rather what she would love to be if he employed her, and she said if she would love to be the personal assistant to the local government chairman. So there are so many things we've achieved. So right now we are also in the project of making sure they are employed. They're employed in the corporate world everywhere. Everybody sees that they are employed. So that is what we are doing now. That is the project that is ongoing now. And hopefully we are trusting that it will yield fruit with the self advocates. Thank you very much.
Well done, so well done, Mr. Joseph, and thank you for me. That was quite enlightening. And of course, you have a question from one of our audience already, but I want to quickly welcome everyone again. Thank you, Uju Egbuna, for joining us. Blessing Yape, thank you for everyone that has joined in. Ruwoji Eniola, Molly Ikubi, thank you for joining us. So there's a question for you, quick, so that we don't miss that. It says, at what age should training on self-advocacy begin for individuals with special needs? So, do you want to help us with that?
Okay. Actually, we started grooming them at a teenage age because one, we actually have the ones because at the foundation we have those that can speak, those that cannot speak. So the ones that are speak, we have like the least age you can start grooming them, let's say from 14. From 14 years, I think they are good to go. So far they have that speech to talk, and or they can even say, I have my right or I know my right, they are good to go. Even if they are 10 years and they can tell you that they know their right, fine. But the right age, because we have those that are 14 and we have those that are 13 that are in our self-advocacy group that are learning what self-advocacy is. And so from 13 upward, I think those at age you can start telling them about their rights, how to be independent, what their disability is like, so that they can be aware that, oh, if you don't accept me, I know that I accept myself. I know I have Down syndrome. I have right to speak. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for that. While you were speaking, it just reminded me about the student-centered IEP process where you involve those individuals with disability themselves so that they can learn to self-advocate. Just like I said at the beginning, that there's nothing about us without us. So we can't impose things on them. The more they're in the know, and it's at that age, about some people would say from age 14, some would say 16, and some people say even when they're young, as long as they can understand what is being discussed, because you're talking about them. So they have the right to be
Yeah.
around when you're discussing or putting plans in place for them. Well done, Mr. Joseph. Thank you for all that you do,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for that beautiful response to that question by Vicky Wilson. Woko. So thank you so much. I want to come back to Auntie Anu. Mr. Joseph, you mentioned a lot of things about 'cause when you talk about self-advocacy, I wanted you to be specific about what exactly they're advocating for. And you mentioned right to vote, right to be voted for, employment, marriage, and the rest of them. And the question that came to mind was, so are there any prerequisite skills that you need to teach these individuals before you begin to teach them about self-advocacy? Probably life skills or some independent living skills. What are they and what does it look like for these individuals? And Tiano, did you get my questions?
Yes, I understand. Okay, thank you very much. Um, Beyond self-advocacy group, even those that are not, because I know that not all organizations are opportune to groom a group of self-advocates, but they have young adults that have been trained for employment. So beyond self-advocacy, there is a need for these young adults with Down syndrome or other relevant developmental challenges like intellectual disabilities and all the rest. There is a need for them to have prerequisite skills, for them to go out there. Number one, if you say we are advocating for employment, the employers of labor will ask, what skill do you have? That's the first question they will ask. And even not necessarily in terms of acquiring skills, even if you have skills that can make them have earn their own living for themselves alone, it's good, it's enough, they are good to go. But there is a need for them to have skills, basic skills. We start from self-help skills. They should be able to take care of themselves independently. When they're able to do that one, there's something we call transfer of skill, or transfer of knowledge. When they are able to
Tiano,
independently,
just hold on, please. Self-help skills, because the topic, our this platform is called Finding Up with Special Needs. So we don't want to say what above people's head. We want to break it down. So what are self-help skills and what are the examples of self-help skills?
Okay. Some of the examples of self-help skills, some people will call it activities of daily living. Some people will call it independent living skills. It depends. It starts from self-grooming. It starts from self-grooming. When you are able to groom yourself, when you are able to bathe yourself independently, they are able to brush independently, they are able to put on their clothes without support, without help. For those that are ladies, they're able to change themselves when they are on, when they're in their period. They're able to take care of themselves effectively. Self-help skills comes from that one. You can see that one as self-help skills. And then they can move further. When the child is able, or a young adult is able to care for him or herself, automatically he can transfer that skill into taking care of someone else with disability. For example, if a child with Down syndrome, or if a young adult with Down syndrome is able to groom him or herself, for maybe a lady with Down syndrome is able to probably pack her hair after taking her bath, dress up herself, then pack her hair well, and it's fine. She will be able to do it for other persons. And gradually, if she's able to do it for other persons, skill is coming in, that from it, she can earn some money for her living. So we now take it beyond that one. These are unskilled labor. Self-grooming is unskilled. Now, we have to take it further to skilled one, where they will be properly trained in a particular vocation. What we do is that we allow them explore. We present different vocations to them, different skills. It might be as simple as packaging, folding of clothes, laying of their beds. It might be as simple as that. Arranging stuffs, it might be as simple as that. Then gradually we will move on to other more complex vocations, like we introduce them gradually to barbing, packaging of products, finished products, hair making, makeover, gele tying, soap making, liquid wash making, air freshener making, bead making, farming. It can be poultry farming, it can be dairy farming, it can be, these are vocational skills they can be exposed to. And those things, they are not technical. When we are talking about STEM acquiring skills, somebody might be thinking, they have to know how to calculate very well. If they want to learn a particular skill, they have to know how to use tape rule to take measurements. It is not as difficult as that. Once they have this, for example, going into farming, they might be in a poultry farm. All they can do is they are taught how to feed the birds. As easy as that, they just put the feeds in their feeders, put water in their drinkers. Then the layers, when they are laying eggs in a battery cage, they can easily pick eggs and put in trays. These are skills. And then if you are even looking at maybe tailoring, they might not necessarily handle needle or take measurements. They might be involved in packaging, putting into these transparent cellophanes. They can fold and put in there. They can iron. They can use pressing iron to iron them and all that. So these are the things they can do. These are just few examples of what they can do. Also, they can be trained to work in formal offices. They can work in offices as receptionists, like Awele does. When somebody comes in, she receives the person with a smile. Let the person sit down. Who would you like to see? And one funny thing is that she will ask you, if you are coming in without your mask, she will tell you, have you washed your hands? Where are your masks? Basic things. She will ask questions. She will go and bring a visitor's book for the person to register and make the person sit down and make him or herself comfortable. This is a skill. And then as many people that will come that day, she will attend to them and take proper records of their attendance, and everything is intact. So these are basic skills they need to acquire, because by the time they want to go out there for employment, the employers will ask them, what can they do? And then that is where accommodation in workplaces, that is when it comes in. When they see that they have a little skill in one area, then the organization cannot make room for them and accommodate them and let them work in a place where they can fit in and function effectively. They enjoy doing stereotyped work because sometimes they might not be able to dabble into do that and all that. So once they have these skills, they are good to go. So thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much for that explanation because a lot of people are thinking, oh, maybe it's something that one has to always, sometimes they have job coaches or they have people that would shadow them, so to say, but it's glad to know, it's glad to know, I mean, to know that they are being trained. And I know it's a lot of routine and it takes time for them to acquire these skills. But it's good to know that they're able to exhibit these skills independently. Thank you so much. And it's also good to know that before we can have them self-advocate, it's good for them to have some skills so that they're able to advocate right and appropriately. Thank you so much. I really am coming to you right now. I was going to ask you what your typical day at Down Syndrome Foundation is like. But I think Auntie Amber had said some of the things you do. But I'm still going to ask you, do you enjoy what you do? And what part of your job at the Down Syndrome Foundation do you enjoy the most?
Yes. Do you enjoy your work? Tell her how you enjoy it.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell her how you enjoy your work. Tell her.
I enjoy the work.
She says she enjoys her work.
I can hear you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And I know what, I'm so glad that a lot of individuals who are going to watch this video and probably their parent or individual with Down syndrome too. And I'm sure you're going to be a motivation to them because of what you're doing and the fact that you came up here to even speak and to advocate for yourself and other individuals with disability with Down syndrome. I'm really, really proud of you. So what part of your job do you enjoy the most? I think I can guess, but I'll let you to tell us the part that you enjoy the most.
Let you do.
Okay. I want to work to camera.
Wow, the camera. I love that. And I loved your picture, the one we used for the flyer. You are such a queen, a beauty queen. I love that picture. So it's so easy to tell. Your look, the camera, oh my God. I hope I get, I will be so privileged enough to be taken, for you to take a picture of me when I'm in Lagos. I'll come look at you. Let's see how you can display that gift of yours. Well done, Awele. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Um, Awele, could you also? I'm bringing most of these questions to you because you are you are the person that's living with Down syndrome. We cannot speak for you as much as you speak for yourself. So I wanted to ask you how, from the training you've acquired both in Nigeria and in the UK. I know you have served as an assistant at an eatery or something in the UK, and I know you're a receptionist also. You've learned photography. What was the experience like? The people that were teaching you, what would you say? What were the qualities they had that made you feel that you could learn from them? Were they patient with you? What were the things that made you feel, oh, I can learn what they are teaching me?
Yes. That means you. What did you say to them? What do you think?
Um. Okay. I have my school to London. Yeah. I work here for the Down syndrome. Um.
So when you were
I
being trained,
I have a two school and stay.
What's your education? Why do you like your work? Tell me about what you like about your work.
Well, I like this work very much, and I I'm a good person. I work very well.
Okay. Tell
okay.
us more. Do you do your question? Tell me.
And
I couldn't
I'll
hear
say
you.
I'll say
Yeah, go on.
so expect now chin chin cookies and cake.
Wow. Was it easy learning those things? Because I can't even remember, like I learned to make chicha, I can't even remember how to make it anymore. Was it an easy thing for you, or it was something that came to you, it was a bit difficult, or was it easy for you to learn those things? Cooking, photography,
Yes.
all of the things you were able to learn. Was it easy, or did you determine that you wanted to do it despite the fact that it was hard? What was it? What was your story there when you were learning? Was it an easy thing?
I make chin chin.
Was it easy or difficult for you?
No,
Tell them.
It wasn't easy, but now you can do it. You can make chin chin. So
it's
how
easy.
did you?
Yes.
Hello, she said it was easy for her to learn when she was learning them.
Oh, so I think what I can take away from that is that it also has to do with individuals teaching. So everyone around individuals with Down syndrome, must learn to be patient with them, because that school of thought, that belief that individual with Down syndrome cannot do anything, Awele is here to show us, and she has been able to do it beyond even what you can imagine. I mean, she's able to do bake, she's able to cook, she's able to bake, she's able to do photography, reception. I mean, how many neurotypical individuals are able to do all of that? Well done, Awele. And I want to give kudos to the teachers, those that were able to teach you, the trainers, this thing. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Alex, I forgot to welcome you, maybe because you came in after we started. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for choosing to sign for us. We'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, please don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to be looking at a project that I know that Ms. Anu and Mr. Joseph had been involved with, and then we'll see what it had been like, because it had to do with employment. You know, no one wants to continue to be a burden on anyone, irrespective of any disability status. I know you guys are doing something fantastic in that space, but we'll go on a short break, and then we'll be back to have that discussion. And I will also tell us our experience based on that project that you embarked upon. Thank you. Just stay put, don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Yeah, sit down.
The baker had Simone, and everybody saw that she could do the job. The lawyer went to the baker and saw Simone at work. The lawyer hired John because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The dentist went to the lawyer and saw John at work. The dentist hired Sophia because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The farmer went to the dentist and saw Sophia at work. The farmer hired Kate because the dentist hired Sophia, because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The farmer went to the farmer and saw Kate at work. The farmer hired Paul because the farmer hired Kate, because the dentist hired Sophia, because the lawyer hired John, because the baker had Simone. The baker had Simone. The baker went to the barber and saw Paul at work. He didn't have a clue, but it was thanks to his first move that the barber hired Paul, because the farmer hired Kate, because the dentist hired Sophia, because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. Yeah, yeah.
So welcome back, and happy World Down Syndrome Day. How many of you enjoyed that short video that was played during the break? During the break, I particularly enjoyed it because it showed us that individuals with Down syndrome can walk. We only have to give them a chance. And from what we'll be discussing in the last few minutes, we realized that even in Nigeria, the video I was able to find was for developed countries, but it starts somewhere. The baker saw um, Simon, working. He saw another individual, Josh, and all of that. And then it became like a chain reaction. Oh, if she can, then I should be able to employ this other person at my law firm. I should be able to employ this individual with that syndrome at my barbing salon. They add a lot to contribute to the development of the nation. So it's absolutely wrong for us to push them aside. And let's not forget the theme for this year's Down syndrome awareness day is we connect so we can do so that we can do much more, so that we can. And for me, I just put to do much more. So we need to connect. We need to connect to what they can do. And remember, someone always says something. It's okay to say I can, but the skills that you need to, don't forget to acquire it. And I know that the Down Syndrome Foundation, with Mr. Joseph, with Miss Anu, they've done quite a lot in empowering this individual to be able to engage in employment, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So I think I'll let Mr. Joseph begin by talking to us about that project. I don't know what the name of the project is, but I know that's to do with employment. I know you've what is the project about really, and what are the various steps that are involved? I know it's not about self-advocacy, but could you please shed some light on that project? Mr. Joseph, are you there? You're muted.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Joseph. Okay, while we wait for Mr. Joseph to connect back, I think there's a little bit of issue with his internet connection. And Sana, I know you're very familiar with that project. Could you please, because a lot of people are wondering.
Joseph is back.
Oh, it's gone again. I think you can keep speaking until it gets back. Did you hear me?
I can hear you, please. We can hear. Okay, Joseph is back.
Can you hear me? Yeah, great to have you back.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I had issues with my internet. So can you please repeat your question? I didn't get you.
Based on we had a break, and there was a video about, we saw how the baker hired, the lawyer hired, the person with Down syndrome, the barber hired the person with Down syndrome. I know in this part of the world, people are always like, oh, let's just pity them, whatever they can do, let's just pity them. But I know that's not the case with what your foundation is doing and the project you are involved in. I know that there's a project that you shared with me just a few days back about how you are able to I don't know what the project is, but it's got to do with employment and preparing these individuals for employment, and how you spoke to the employers of labors and all of that. Could you please shed some light on that project, that other individuals who are working with children with individual Down syndrome could also borrow a leaf from what you've done, so that these individuals could be employable?
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, the project is all about Inclusion Works. The title of the project is Inclusion Works. And it's about getting everybody with disability employed. So in our space, we are working with everybody with Down syndrome and everybody or anybody, every person with intellectual disability to be employed. Last week, on Monday, we trained CEOs of organizations, because there's a need. If we want CEOs, we want employers of labor to employ persons with Down syndrome, there's a need for them to have this training or have to be enlightened that persons with Down syndrome would love to work with them and the ways to work with them. So on Tuesday, 16th of March, we trained CEOs of organizations on how to work with persons with Down syndrome. We told them that working with a person with Down syndrome, they understand simple and plain language. They don't want fuzzy words or big grammar. they want to work with you, and they want it to be in simple language. You want them to type um, a keyboard, or you want them to type something on the system, and you didn't explain to them that you just give them the type this. They need you to tell them, I want you to type this on the system on one page or on 2 pages. Because the way a regular person will understand when you say type this, a regular person will know that, yeah, you want me to type this on the system. But persons with Down syndrome, you need to break it down to them, let them understand where they want to type it, how you want them to type it, how many pages you want them to type it, and they would understand. So we were opportunity to train CEOs on how to include persons with Down syndrome in their workplace. The interviews, like when you want to come out and advertise for interview, you don't expect a person with Down syndrome to always read what you post on the newspaper. You don't expect them to, without pictures, you are posting something for an advert on for a job, and you want to include persons with Down syndrome, and you don't put a picture for them to understand, because they are visual learners. They want to see that, okay, yes, there's a vacancy. They want to see that, okay, this job is a job. You want them to come in and apply as a receptionist. You have to put a picture of a receptionist, it's somebody who looks like a receptionist, so that they can know that, okay, it's a job of a receptionist. If you want them to come in as a photographer, you put a person, or you hold a camera, so that they can understand how to apply for that job. And it has to be in simple and plain language. So we had to tell them their modes of advertising, their mode of interview, how they want to be interviewed when they are invited. They don't want to do maths, they don't want to do English. They want to have an oral interview with you. They want to tell you their skills. They want to tell you what they have, they can offer. Not like you telling them, bring your certificate of BSc or Masters or PhD. Ask them, what are your skills? What are your competences? They will tell you what they can do. So we had to train them on that. And we also trained employers also on last Friday, on how to go about in, putting persons with Down syndrome in their workplace. And hopefully we'll be following up with them, that you don't necessarily give them a job. You can start them as intern. Let them learn from that job. Let them learn. Let them be supportive. Then when you see that they are good, you can now say, okay, fine, we are taking you as a staff. So we told them that it's a gradual process, internship for staff, when you see their competence, when you see their diligence. And we have to tell them that persons with Down syndrome are loyal. Like, they are loyal. They learn, like, when you tell them, don't do this, that's how they don't do it. They will stick to that till you are the one that will tell them, okay, change this way, change the pattern of how you are doing this, and do it in another way. So we are running some trainings, and we have to start sensitizing the public, the employers in which we want them to employ, sensitize them on what their capability is before we start pushing them out there to start being employed. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Is this the first project or are they been ongoing?
Yeah, this is the first project on employment, and it's been supported by UK Aid.
Fantastic. Wow. Then is it open to just individuals with Down syndrome at the Down syndrome foundation, or anyone who is willing to be employed or want acquire those skills can reach out to Down syndrome foundation?
And yeah, it's not specified for only persons with Down syndrome. Down syndrome, anyone who is willing to be employed, and he has Down syndrome, he or she has Down syndrome and wants to be employed, reach out to us. We will see your competence, because we told employers it's not a matter of certificate. It's about their skills and their competence. We see your competence, we can then recommend you to any organizations that need your services.
Fantastic. This is a welcoming, for me, it's a heartwarming information, because I know that a lot of employers of labor have this misconception that, and I think that's one of the reasons why they do not employ individuals with disability or Down syndrome. They just feel that they have nothing to offer. So I really applaud you and the great job you're doing with the team. Auntie Anu, I want to come back to you right now.
Okay.
I know we spoke and you said you've been talking to employers of labor to employ individuals with Down syndrome. What has been the on a scale of 1 to 10? What did you say? Would you think? Do you think? What would you be? What would be the data on a scale of 1 to 10 of their level of acceptance of this proposal, so to say? What would you say? Would you say they've been able to understand and they're willing? Are they committed to it? So if 1 being lowest and 10 being highest, where would you score those employer of labor that you've spoken to when it comes to employing, when it comes to regarding employing individuals with Down syndrome?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I can tell you that it is still work in progress because quite a number of our employers, especially in Nigeria, number one, they lack awareness. They don't believe persons with Down syndrome or other intellectual disability can actually be useful in any way. So the first thing we are dealing with is to disabuse their minds, is to create awareness and to let them know, number one, that this category of people, they can do very well. And then to showcase their abilities, their skills, their competence, and all that. That is the first stage. So now coming to acceptance. Um, Few of them really, they have shown interest. As a matter of fact, some have started because in the past, persons with physical disabilities, maybe visual impairments, hearing impairments, they are being absorbed into organizations, both government and private organizations, but not persons with Down syndrome or other intellectual disabilities because they don't know they can actually do well. So it's on this note that we are training employers. We are just training them, and then they are coming to see, oh, so this is it. So this is it. And for few of them that have accepted to partner with us, no, we have to start with internship first. So that have accepted to start with us on internship basis for them to come in and learn, maybe on the job training and all that. They have seen that they have skills, and as Joseph rightly said, they are loyal, they are committed, they are dedicated. And then in the previous employers training we had this past week, we were able to let them know reasons why they should employ persons with Down syndrome and other intellectual disabilities. We made them realize that in few years to come, probably in the next 5 years, it will become a law that an employer of labor must employ at least 5% of persons with disability, and persons with intellectual disabilities are inclusive. So persons with Down syndrome too will be part of this quota. That is number one. And then there are benefits attached to it. So by the time we were training them, and we made them know that number one is going to become a law few years to come. So the sole reason in doing it now and being in the system now, because their outfits, their organizations must be disability friendly. That is one. And then we made them realize that there are benefits attached to it. For example, there might be a reduction in tax for employers if they employ persons with disability generally. There might be reduction in their tax and their taxes rather. And also persons with intellectual disability, they don't have time on their job, backbiting, going on social media to do selfie time. They don't have that time. They are consistent with what they are doing. What you ask them to do, it might be stereotyped, but they do it. They do it with all their heart. They do it consistently. They do it faithfully. They are loyal. They don't pretend. Unlike neurotypical persons around us here that like to do eye service, they don't do it. And then another thing is that they drag traffic to your business, your outfit. They bring that outfit to the limelight. You know, people will want to see, really? So this person is working here, this organization, do you realize that? Let's go and see. Let's patronize and see. And so by doing that, they bring such organization to a spot. They bring them to limelight and people see them. And so based on all this that we have been able to trade them on, they are having a kind of rethink and the acceptance is creeping in gradually. At least some of them have accepted to allow them come in for internship. Some of them that had representative on that platform, they said they will get back to their organizations, discuss with the management, and see at least there we got a very good reception. There was a very good reception, very good one. So for now, we have not seen employers employing, but we have seen a green light, and we know that we are so optimistic about it that at the end of the day, after this first of internship that we intend to go on, after this, we are going to see full engagement of persons with Down syndrome being employed in organizations. And we also train them that they should make a reasonable accommodation in workplaces for them. For example, there should be signs, there should be symbols showing that they are in that organization. As Joseph rightly said, in the course of their interview or application, they don't have to go to sites that is will be difficult. The same thing goes for proper engagements. When they are finally engaged, there should be signs, there should be symbols to show that they work there and to guide them to work. They need support while they are working. So these are the things we are putting the employers through, that when they are there might be just be signs showing direction. They might use colors. When you put danger, you let them know that this place, maybe there are machines there, don't go there. Danger, you can put color red, very red. You put it there, where you might show arrow to direct them to a particular place. You might to set limits and all that. They understand signs and symbols very well, pictures and videos very well. So when you do that, they will see that they will enjoy having them in their organizations. So this is how far we have gone with our employers on the projects we are handling. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Auntie Anu. I wanted to ask you, they say charity begins at home. Apart from Awele, how many other individuals with Down syndrome have been working with you at the Down Syndrome Foundation?
Yes, thank you very much. Apart from Awele, we have other 6 that are employed by the foundation.
What's their job description?
Yes. For example, Awele is a receptionist. We have Uloma as a class assistant.
Wow.
We have Daniel Ekpedeme, who is like a janitor. Yes, and he's so dedicated to his work. We also have Christian, he's also a janitor. We have Solomon Omere, he's also a class assistant. We have quite a number of them like that they are employed by the foundation, and they're doing very well in their job.
Well done, and thank you.
And they are being paid.
And they are being paid. Yes, we opened the bank account for them.
Yes. Essence. Well done. Thank you for not just mouthing it, but also doing the talk. Thank you for setting the pace. Thank you for all that you do. We truly celebrate and appreciate you, for showing us that it is possible. And not only have you been able to do it, you're also showing other people how it can be done. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I want to talk to Awele now. Awele, I understand that you do different things. Someone just said, I can't even bake chin-chin. I can't bake chin-chin too. You can bake chin-chin. You are a receptionist. You are into photography. I love pictures. Like I said, I'm coming to Lagos to look for you. I wanted you to encourage individuals out there by just telling us 1 or 2 steps that involves in taking pictures of photography. What do they have to do? So for example, you want to, of course, some of your mates are also class assistants. I'm sure they're teaching people what to do. So if you were to teach me or someone that need to take a picture, what are the things they should look out for? What should they do?
So teach them how to take photographs. What do you do? How to take photographs?
Okay.
Loud.
As not picture, you go out somewhere. Okay. You go somewhere, go to party or wedding.
Okay.
And you start picture when you go somewhere. You have a program to go. I want to snap picture.
Great. There's something I always said. I think she's so strategic. You cannot want to say you want to start picture and sit down in your house. You have to go out.
Sure.
to those events. So that's for me, because some people are like, oh, but I can, but nobody's calling me. You need to go out there to make the move. Thank you for sharing that with us. I really thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now I want to come back to you, Mr. Joseph. You know, a lot of people believe that individuals with Down syndrome cannot get married or do not get married. I want you to just please explain this to us. Why do people think so, and how do we disabuse their mind from that belief?
Thank you so much, Lola, for these questions.
Hold on,
Actually,
Mr. Joseph. Sorry. So
yeah.
I mean, there are two sides to that question. Also, they're asking, is it advisable for persons with Down syndrome to marry each other? Some say they can't marry. Let's talk about that. And then is it advisable for two people with Down syndrome to get married?
Okay, let's start with. I don't want to do too much of a medical aspect of that,
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
on our last magazine, we actually posted a picture of or a story of a person with Down syndrome who married a regular person, and he's quite happy in the marriage. The dad has been supportive because the dad is a member of the foundation, and they are based in Kwara, Ilorin. And this person with Down syndrome can also drive. The man is a man. He married a regular person, a wife, a lady who is a regular person. And this guy with Down syndrome drove from Ilorin down to Lagos with a
Wow.
support person. He drove the car and he married a wife. So it is there is no harm or there is no crime for a person with Down syndrome to get married to a regular person. All what you need to do is to accept them, support
Hmm.
them. They want to be loved. They already love you as you are, whether they know you or not. But what you as a regular person need to do is to accept, support, inspire them. That yes, you can, I can marry, or I can, this can work. It's all about the regular person. The person with Down syndrome, their hearts or their minds are clean. They don't have any grudge. They know who they want to marry. So it's not by forcing them to marry a person with Down syndrome. Like I really, most times you say, I want to marry this person. She has already the person she wants to marry. But it's not by you compelling her that no, you must marry someone with Down syndrome. It doesn't work like that. They have a right to marry whoever they want to marry. So
Hmm.
going ahead, they can marry a regular person. It's just that the regular person has to accept them, has to inspire them, not to treat them with pity or charity mode. You must treat them like this is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. So for the other question, is it advisable for persons with Down syndrome to marry each other? I'll put that to Mrs. Sebanjo. I think she's more experienced in that.
So yes, I would want her to answer.
Joseph, well
There's
done,
another question
Joseph.
that's coming to you. There's another question that is coming to you,
Okay.
Auntie Anu. And the question is, are there programs that prepares them for relationship and marriage? You know, I'm into fashion, of course, and I know there are several programs in developed countries where you have like a relationship coach that grooms you on how to ask a person out as a man, or how to go on date, and what to look out for, what your likes and all that. Are there any programs like that? If there are, what does it look like?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to start from where Joseph stopped. In natural sense, persons with Down syndrome, they have full awareness,
Hmm.
unlike probably person with autism. They have full awareness and they are aware they need.
Wow, we need Auntie Annie to come back. We need Mr. Manager to come back because we want her to answer this question. Where everybody's waiting for your answers. I'm sure she'll be back. I'm sure she'll be back. While we wait for her to be back, Mr. Joseph, are you aware of any programs, or is there any program your foundation is involved in that prepares young adults for
Yeah,
relationship?
where they need a partner.
Oh, I think she's back. Oh, she's not back. Yeah. Are there any programs while we wait for her to take over that question?
Yeah, the programs we have been running on them when it comes to marriage. It's we partnered with there's a foundation, Festus Fajemilo Foundation, who came in to train them on sex education because they are adults and they would want to settle down, or they would want, there's this urge or this thing that they would need. So we partnered with him to come in and train them on that. And we have been working with other organizations to see how we can encourage or build um, them to marriage, because there's this family as it's a man with Down syndrome who got married, and his mom actually told him, and he comes in during the self advocacy group and he talks about his wife to them. He tells them how his wife is loving, how his wife helped him to clean his shoe before he came for the self advocacy program, and how so he like encourages them to see that marriage is not bad as a person with Down syndrome, because he also has Down syndrome and he's
So
married.
sorry. Sorry
So
for the
we partner with
interruption,
him.
please.
Like his mom
Yay!
has a foundation. His
Okay,
mom
so
has a
thank you so
foundation.
much, Mr. Joseph. I
Yeah.
want Mr. Majo to continue. I want
Sorry,
her
we
to
are
continue
fine.
Yes,
to
please.
respond to that question.
Okay. So as I was saying, that they have full awareness, they have feelings, every hormones in their body are functioning properly. And so they have a choice. They might choose to love persons without Down syndrome, as Joseph rightly said, and they might choose persons with Down syndrome. It depends on them because they are already adults. We just call them young adults. They are already adults and they have the right to choose, because it is in some of the rights they are taught in UNCRPD, right to life, right to marry. So they have right to choose whoever they want. If they choose somebody with Down syndrome, if the person agrees, fine. If the person is in turn agrees to marry them, fine. And if they choose to love a regular person, and if the person also loves them back, loves him or her back, then fine. So that is it about that. What Joseph said. Now, is there a particular platform like a dating platform? Currently, we are working on, because we have quite a number of young adults at the foundation. And so we are working out having a platform like a dating outing, not dating per se, like an outing platform where only young adults with supervision of support persons can go out on a date, maybe a park, they can go to a park, to the beach, the support persons will be there, of course. And so when they go on a date, they can probably, they can see persons they are in love with. And personally, I feel that if such thing will occur, it should cut across different disability clusters, because sometimes a particular disability they might get used. For example, persons with Down syndrome, most of the time, if I interview them about relationships and marriage, it's like they are so much used to persons with Down syndrome. They know features, they know qualities, they can predict what a person with Down syndrome can actually do. So sometimes this one, sometimes we ask, will you do it? I say, no, I don't want. Somebody, one of them once told me, she has Down syndrome. She said, I can never marry somebody with Down syndrome. She herself, she has Down syndrome, you know. So they are used, they know more about persons, but if they see other persons, gatherings where persons with other mild disabilities are, no, that might give an up. I have an instance of a particular lady that went for a conference, World Down Syndrome Congress in the US. There, she met somebody although with another form of disability, not Down syndrome, and she picked interest, and the family are aware, the family members they are aware, and all that. So we are looking at having such platform now, but of course we are COVID-19 restrictions and all that. We don't want to do outdoor events, outdoor programs, outdoor events like that. But very soon, I hope this thing clears off. We will look at it and then put it down. But previously, in the past years, where they normally go out every year, annually they go to the US for World Down Syndrome Congress. Joseph, right? They usually attend that program, and so there they mix with other persons with Down syndrome and other related developmental disorders all over the world. And it's an annual thing anyway. It is COVID that had made it to substance last year. So that's another platform. Although that platform was meant for a particular thing, it wasn't for dating. It wasn't intentionally created for dating, but at least it's a gathering where they can see each other and they can develop interest. Like we have one of us till tomorrow. Solomon will tell you, my wife is in the US because she met the lady at the conference in the US, and she, up to today, she will tell you, my wife is in the US and all that. So, but more structured forum will be created so that they can mingle and then can share ideas and all that. Thank
That
you.
would be so great. That would be so great. Well done. Well done. Well done. Awele, I have just one more question for you. What
Okay.
advice, what advice do you have for individuals with Down syndrome who feel they can't do anything? You have done so very well for yourself, and I applaud you. Well done. What advice do you have for that person thinking, oh, how can I be like Awele? How can I learn to? How can I learn photography? How can I learn baking? How can I even aspire to be a receptionist? What word do you have for them? What advice do you have for them?
You advise people. Tell them their rights. Tell them.
Right.
Tell them all the rights.
I want to right to work.
Yes, she said she has the right to work. So those ones out there should know that they have right to work. Yes.
So,
I want to right to marry.
Yes, she said she has the right to marry. Yes,
great.
louder.
I want to right to speak.
She said she has the right to speak.
I want
True.
to right to the vote.
She said she has the right to vote.
Fantastic.
I want to right to work.
She said she has the right to work.
Great.
I want to
So,
work right to education.
She said she has the right to education.
great. Great.
Okay, so these are if anybody out there that has a Down syndrome and doesn't know what to do, Awele here today has told them all the rights they have and they can exercise these rights.
Great. Thank you so much, Awele. Thank you. So
Okay.
one more last word from Auntie Anu. What, okay, there's a question. At what age should training on self-advocacy begin for? We've done that. I think, yeah, we have.
Yes, yes, we've treated.
Yes, 14, yes, 14-year-old or lower, as long as they have interest. Fantastic. So one last word from each of you. Auntie Anu, thank you so much, Awele, for that, for letting people out that without to be aware that they have right to different things. And if you have that right, they also have that right. This they can do is to ensure that they claim that right, so to say. So, Auntie Anu, Mr. Joseph, let's start with the ladies first. What parting words do you have for parents of individuals with Down syndrome?
Yes, in this part of the world, Nigeria precisely, because of the sociocultural beliefs, the myths surrounding disabilities generally, a lot of parents, like other developmental challenges that when a child is born, you might not know immediately until maybe probably after 18 months and above. The parents can still cope with the child and all that. But once a child with Down syndrome is born, you know it immediately because it is seen. And at that moment, if there is no, there are stages. When a woman or a parent, when they give birth to a child with Down syndrome, the first thing when they know that the child has that challenge is that the first thing is shock. They are shocked, then they come to realization, okay, so it is real. Because all along they might be living in denial. And as time goes on, they come to accept the child. Acceptance is so key. It is when the parents accept a child that they will not lock up that child in the room and make the child to be useless, to amount to nothing. Because when the child does not acquire any skill, no basic skill, no academic skills, no functional life skills, no self-help skills, nothing, no social skills, the child will amount to nothing. So for parents, there are stages that they have to go through. When they accept
I think we lost her for a bit. I'm sure she'll be back.
that child
What? A great question back.
and give the child what exactly that child needs. And then when they give the child the best, you will see that the child will, knowingly or unknowingly, the child will be improving and they will grow to love that child. So parents out there, please don't lock up your child with disabilities. Don't lock up your child with Down syndrome and don't call them names. Don't call them all day. Don't call them stupid. Don't call them dons. Don't call them mumu. Don't call them all these terrible names. These children are fantastic. They are God-given gifts. So let us come to love and accept them and connect with them. That's a big focus we have for this year. So we'll connect. So thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you. Mr. Joseph, over to you. What parting what you have for the society, the community at large, or when it comes
All
to
right.
connecting with individuals with Down syndrome?
All right. Thank you, Lola. I just have three words for them. The theme for this year's World Down Syndrome Day is connect. How would you connect with your child or with someone with Down syndrome? First, the three things I have to tell them is first, accept them. Second, educate them. Third, inspire them. Those are the three
Accept,
things I
educate,
have it
inspire.
and inspire. Yes, those are the
Wow.
three things I have for them. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Wow. Thank you. I would like to just thank you all. Thank you. I'm so honored to have you, and I'm blown away by the amount of information that you have dished out to us, and particularly to Awele for choosing to be with us and to lend that voice and also to advocate for other individuals and for ourselves living with Down syndrome. I want to thank everyone that's joined us. Charity Ibeabuchi, thank you. Abosede Omolola Lamino, thank you. Vicky Wilson Woko, thank you. Thank you for everyone. Anthony Patience, thank you. Felicia Oli Asu, thank you. Thank you to Etiza Joanne, for everyone that has joined in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um, Mr. Alex, I want to say a very big thank you to you. There's something we always do find out with special needs. Sometimes, most times, really, people are wondering, oh, if these people can, then how can we? That means we can't. So, how do we reach out to them so that we can connect with them and see how they can actually walk us through or put us through, like we asked during the show? I mean, some of the programs that you run, is it for just individuals in your foundation or also for any other person? So, how can people reach you? In what way? Your email address? Are you on Instagram or social media? Could you please just say it out to us if it's okay for us to share on our platform right now? But I need you to say it slowly so we can type it
Okay,
out.
on our Facebook, you can reach us on Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria. Just type Down Syndrome
Yeah,
Foundation Nigeria. You'll see it on Facebook. On Instagram, at Down Syndrome NG. On
Down syndrome.
Twitter, at Down Syndrome NG also.
So
LinkedIn, Down
Facebook,
Syndrome Foundation Nigeria.
Down syndrome foundation Nigeria. Um, Twitter at Down
Yes.
syndrome. No, Instagram at Down syndrome NG, and
Instagram,
then
Twitter, at Down Syndrome NG.
that's quite easy. So no one should call me to say, look, we need their contact. It's so easy. Facebook, type Down
Thank
Syndrome
you. Thank
Foundation
you.
Nigeria.
Awele.
Thank
Instagram,
you.
Down Syndrome NG, and Twitter, Down Syndrome NG. For everyone that is just joining, Adinola Edema George, I see you. Thank you. Mrs. Bibi Ikera, I see you. We truly, truly appreciate
Also,
you.
want to invite them also.
Okay,
Thank
go
you.
on.
Said also want to invite everyone to our webinar.
Being
Our
here
Down
Okay,
syndrome.
again.
We'll
go
be
ahead.
celebrating the Down
Share that
syndrome
information with us
day
now. And if you share
virtually,
with me, we'll also share it on the
virtually on
platform.
Wednesday.
Okay. What time?
Okay, so you can join. I'll send a link to you for them to register. It's on Wednesday by 9 a.m. It's virtual. We are collaborating with the Africa Down Syndrome Network, the founder of Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria. She's a chairperson of Africa Down Syndrome Network. So we are collaborating with all the African Down syndrome countries who have Down syndrome organization to celebrate the World Down Syndrome Day on Tuesday
Tuesday.
by 9 a.m.
Okay.
We will
I'll
stream
really
it live on
appreciate
our
if you can
Facebook.
share that information with me and I'll share it on our various platforms so that we can all join in as many parties as possible. So please join us for that event on Tuesday. This is it for today, and we're so glad. I've learned so much. I'm so excited to have met Awele virtually. I look forward to meeting you in person when next I'm in Lagos. Mr. Alex, you are so fantastic. Thank you for making this show truly inclusive. Thank you, Mr. Banjo. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Joseph. And until
Welcome.
we come away again next week on another episode of Finding Out with Special Needs, I remain yours truly, Lola Aneke. And it's bye bye from all of us. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
DYSLEXIA. He give anything to make it go away, even though he knows it's here to stay. But KC won't give up, no, no, cause you know he's way too tough. He's gonna do whatever it takes. He's gonna find a way. Casey never liked school much. All the kids would laugh when he read in class. Teachers tried to help him out, but they didn't know what to do, so they just let it pass. Sometimes he wanted to scream out loud, hide his head in the sound of the clouds. DYSLEXIA. He give anything to make it go away, even though he knows it's here to stay. But KC won't give up, no, no, cause you know he's way too tough. He's gonna do whatever it takes. He's gonna find a way.